The first year of the last decade of the 20th century, during my 30th year as a school teacher in Community School District 3, Manhattan, after teaching in all 5 secondary schools in the district, crossing swords with one professional administration after another as they strove to rid themselves of me, after having my license suspended twice for insubordination and terminated covertly once while I was on medical leave of absence, after the City University of New York borrowed me for a 5-year stint as a lecturer in the education department, after planning and bringing about the most successful permanent school fundraiser in New York City history, after placing a single 8th grade class into 30,000 hours of volunteer community service, after organizing and financing a student-run food cooperative, after securing over 1,000 apprenticeships, directing the collection of tens of thousands of books for construction of private student libraries, after producing 4 talking job dictionaries for the blind, writing 2 original student musicals, and launching an armada of other initiatives to reintegrate students within a larger human reality, I quit. I was the New York State Teacher of the Year when it happened. An accumulation of disgust and frustration which grew too heavy to be borne finally did me in. To test my resolve, I sent a short essay to the Wall Street Journal titled, "I Quit, I Think." In it, I explained my reasons for deciding to wrap it up, even though I had no savings and not the slightest idea what else I might do in my mid-50s to pay the rent. In its entirety, it read like this. Government schooling is the most radical adventure in history. It kills the family by monopolizing the best times of childhood and by teaching disrespect for home and parents. The whole blueprint of school procedure is Egyptian, not Greek or Roman. It grows from the theological idea that human value is a scarce thing, represented symbolically by the narrow peak of a pyramid. The idea passed into American history through the Puritans. It found its scientific presentation in the bell curve, along which talent supposedly apportions itself by some iron law of biology. It's a religious notion. School is its church. I offer rituals to keep heresy at bay. I provide documentation to justify the heavenly pyramid. Socrates foresaw if teaching became a formal profession, something like this would happen. Professional interest is served by making what is easy to do seem hard, by subordinating the laity to the priesthood. School is too vital a jobs project, contract giver and protector of the social order to allow itself to be reformed. It has political allies to guard its marches, and that's why reforms come and go without changing much. Even reformers can't imagine school much different. David learns to read at age 4, Rachel at age 9. In normal development, when both are 13, you can't tell which one learned first. The 5-year spread means nothing at all. But in school, I label Rachel learning disabled and slow David down a bit too. For a paycheck, I adjust David to depend on me to tell him when to go and stop. He won't outgrow that dependency. I identify Rachel as discount merchandise, special education fodder. She'll be locked in her place forever. In the 30 years of teaching kids, rich and poor, I almost never met a learning disabled child. Hardly ever met a gifted and talented one either. Like all school categories, these are sacred myths, created by human imagination. They derive from questionable values we never examine, because they preserve the temple of schooling. That's the secret behind the short answer tests, uniform time blocks, age grading, standardization, and all the rest of the school religion punishing our nation. There isn't a right way to become educated. There are as many ways as fingerprints. We don't need state-certified teachers to make education happen. That probably guarantees it won't. How much more evidence is necessary? Good schools don't need more money or a longer year. They need real, free market choices, variety that speaks to every need and runs risks. We don't need a national curriculum or national testing either. Both initiatives arise from ignorance of how people learn or deliberate indifference to it. I can't teach this way any longer. If you hear of a job where I don't have to hurt kids to make a living, let me know. Come fall, I'll be looking for work.
You're free to do whatever you want to. You're free to do whatever you need to. You're free to do whatever you want to. You're free to do whatever you need to. I just moved into a church and I want to express myself to the world. I'm too shy to do it. I'm afraid to speak my mind. I wanna shout, I wanna shout, I wanna scream to the sky and get everyone high. 'Cause I just found out the meaning of life. I still hesitate, yeah. I wanna go back in time, back to the year everyone was born, and show them how to understand the possibilities that they own, and show you where faith comes from, show you how to make things good. But I just can't get over my fear, man, I wish I could. You're free to do whatever you want to. You're free to do whatever you need to. You're free to do whatever you got to. All night long. And it's Wednesday, and it's Thursday, and I can't seem to find my way. You're free to do whatever you want to.
Algebraic!
I've come to believe that government monopoly schools, compulsion and all, are structurally unreformable. They cannot function if their central myths are abandoned. No amount of tinkering will correct what is wrong. They cannot function unless their clientele is forced to accept their services. They cannot function unless they tightly control the teacher supply through an exclusive licensing arrangement with teacher training institutions. After an adult lifetime spent teaching school, I believe the method of math schooling is the only real content it has. Don't be fooled into thinking that good curriculum, or good equipment, or good teachers are the critical determinants of school time. All the pathologies we've considered come about in large measure because the lessons of school prevent children from keeping important appointments with themselves and with their families, to learn lessons in self-motivation, perseverance, self-reliance, courage, dignity, and love, and lessons in service to others too, which are among the key lessons of home life. 30 years ago, these things could still be learned in the time left after school, but television has eaten up most of that time, and a combination of television and the stresses peculiar to two-income families or single-parent ones have swallowed up most of what used to be family time as well. Our kids have no time left to grow up fully human and only thin soil wastelands to do it in. A future is rushing down upon our culture which will insist all of us learn the wisdom of non-material experience, a future which will demand as the price of survival that we follow a pace of natural life, economical and material cost. These lessons cannot be learned in schools as they are. School is like starting life with a 12-year jail sentence, where bad habits are the only curriculum truly learned. I teach school and win awards doing it. I should know.
I don't want to go to school because I'm stupid. I don't want nobody telling me what to do or how to get through this. I don't want nobody telling me how to think, telling me how to sing, telling me how to do everything. I don't want to be afraid of criminals. I don't want to be afraid of dangerous politicians. I don't want to be afraid of you or of me or the truth. So that girl made me feel blue, 'cause she told me I should stay in school. So that girl made me feel blue. Don't go to school.
Mathematical!
Since first grade, they've been torn away from what people used, the experiences people used to grow up throughout human history everywhere in the world. They've been divided between television, which is a long, long, endless string of low-level abstractions. Commercial entertainment, it's a kind of confinement by seduction. Yes, that takes about 55 hours of their time. And if they do school correctly, going and coming and homework, this takes 47 hours of their time. By simple additive process, you see we've got 102 hours eaten up, 56 hours in sleep, we've got 158 hours. There's only 168 hours in a week. To give this kid 10 hours to grow up in, to take the adventures, the risks, the private enterprises in 10 hours is impossible. Every one of the pathologies that we read about in the newspapers, and we try to track to some local causation, are really caused by taking these children away from reality for all of their natural youth.
To where you belong. I'm waiting. Seems like it's over and done. Looks like you're here all alone. Seems like there's nobody home. Seems like there's nobody home. I'm crazy. I'm crazy. I'm changing. And it's say what you want, 'cause that's already been done, 'cause you're already in love.
True, which is?
True.
There you go.
Crazy.
Hot.
Now,
I'm crazy.
what's your second choice?
No, it's true if and only if false.
And what is that?
False.
There you go. Good work, Cole. Not too big, though.
It's changing.
Good job, Cole. Not too good job.
I'm famous.
That's fine. Alright, what's your next choice?
What's my next choice?
I'm a baby.
False if and only if true.
Which is?
Wasted.
There you go.
Well, I done yet?
You're gonna cheer for her almost. Yeah, she got one more to do. Okay, now what's your last choice?
True if and only if true. True.
Wait,
No, true.
we got all confused there.
Yeah, I'll look at that one.
Now, what's the last one?
Yeah.
The first part of the statement is, yeah,
If and only if false.
which is?
False.
There you go. Another cheer! Monty, you cheer! Yay!
Whoa, math.
Her truth table.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Wow, dude, do you feel like a champion?
Yeah.
And if you don't know, now you know.